Hello, my name is Liz London, and this is an online lecture on facilitating difficult conversations with youth. Just a little background on me. I'm a master's student at the School for Conflict Analysis and Resolution at George Mason University, and I've been doing youth work for about 6 years. I've worked with young people in many different capacities, but to put it in broad strokes, it's mostly been through programs that emphasize some kind of social emotional learning, conflict resolution, and creating safe spaces through dialogue. These programs have mostly been attended by youth who have some kind of trauma history. So, both of these things definitely inform my perspective on youth work and why I believe it's critical that as a facilitator, you're prepared to hold the space when difficult conversations come up. And they will come up, I can guarantee that. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to define youth as 14 to 22-year-olds. It's a little arbitrary, and I think this information can apply to different ages as well, but these are the ages I've worked with the most. So let's think about being at this age. Youth could be going through a lot, like puberty and schoolwork, maybe a lot more than they're used to, growing independence, conflict with family, peer pressure, budding romantic and sexual experiences, and that's all before you add in what some young people have to deal with: physical or sexual abuse, balancing school and work, and maybe even being a parent, being racially profiled, being undocumented, and the list goes on. But youth are also opinionated, sharp, honest, passionate, and often growing into more unique individuals with distinct perspectives on the world, critical thoughts, and hopes for the future. So, all those things together mean that if you really want to create a safe space for youth to process and discuss what they're thinking, feeling, and experiencing, it's going to be difficult. Difficult isn't necessarily bad, but these conversations tend to be intense and delicate. They require thoughtfulness and sensitivity to hold the space. That's why I'm sharing this video. It's in a few parts. After this part, you'll want to watch Facilitating Difficult Conversations with Youth, What is it? To get some more information on what it means to be a mindful facilitator and some tips for taking on this work. Then you can move on to Facilitating Difficult Conversations with Youth, How do you do it? In which you'll hear from two friends and fellow practitioners of mine about their reflections on this work. And lastly, you can play Facilitating Difficult Conversations with Youth, Doing It, for a few closing reflections on transforming these thoughts into practice. Enjoy!